was late January 2025 when Emily Chen, a 26-year-old freelance writer with a taste for the uncanny, booked a night aboard the Queen Mary. The ship, a floating relic from 1936, had been a luxury liner, a troop ship, and now a hotel. Its Art Deco halls shadowed by tales of drownings, murders, and restless spirits. Emily pitched the stay as a story for a travel magazine, roping in her older brother Daniel, a 30-year-old electrician who scoffed at ghosts but loved a challenge. "If it's haunted, I'll fix it," he joked, tossing a toolkit into their rental car. They checked in on January 28th, a Tuesday evening, the Pacific wind rattling the ship's moorings. The Queen Mary loomed over the dock, its rusted hull streaked with salt, its funnels piercing a sky bruised with clouds. Their room, cabin B340, was infamous, closed to guests for years after complaints of banging doors, flickering lights, and a sailor's ghost. Emily had begged the staff to unlock it for research, and they relented, handing her the key with a tight-lipped warning: "Don't call us unless it's an emergency." Inside the cabin was a time capsule, polished wood paneling, a narrow bunk, a porthole fogged with sea grime. The air was stale, tinged with mildew and something metallic, like old coins. Daniel dropped his bag, smirking. "Smells like a basement, not a ghost." Emily set up her recorder, eager to capture the ship's rumoured sounds: knocks, footsteps, cries from the engine room. For hours nothing happened, just the creak of the hull and the distant slap of waves. Around 2 a.m, a low hum started, faint, pulsing, like machinery deep in the ship's belly. Daniel checked the walls, tapping with a screwdriver, but found no source. "Probably pipes," he muttered, though his brow furrowed. The hum grew, vibrating the floor, and Emily's recorder picked up a static whine. She played it back, frowning. Over the hum, a voice murmured, garbled, urgent, "Get out, below." Daniel's smirk faded. "That's not pipes." The porthole rattled, though the wind outside had stilled. Emily peered through it, her breath catching. Something moved in the glass's reflection. A tall figure in a tattered sailor's uniform, standing behind her. She spun, but the cabin was empty, just Daniel staring at her, pale. "What?" he asked. Before she could answer, the lights flickered, plunging them into darkness, then snapping back on. The bunk's blanket was now crumpled, as if someone had sat on it. The hum sharpened into a growl, and the cabin door slammed shut, the lock clicking. Daniel yanked at it, cursing, while Emily's recorder flared with static. Voices piling over each other. Trapped, cold, help. The temperature dropped, their breath fogging, and a wet, briny smell filled the room. Footsteps thudded outside, slow, deliberate, circling the cabin, though the hallway had been deserted. Emily's phone died, its screen black despite a full charge. Desperate, Daniel pried at the door with his screwdriver, but the footsteps stopped, replaced by a knock. 3 sharp raps on the porthole. Emily turned, and there it was. The sailor, pressed against the glass from the outside, his face grey and bloated, eyes milky, water streaming from his mouth. He grinned, teeth jagged, and the glass cracked, spiderwebbing under his fist. The hum became a scream, inhuman, piercing, and the cabin shook, the walls groaning like the ship was sinking again. Emily grabbed Daniel's arm, and he smashed the door's lock with a hammer from his kit. It gave way, and they stumbled into the hall, the scream chasing them as they ran for the deck. The staff found them at dawn, shivering by the gangway, refusing to explain. Back home, Emily uploaded her recording. The voices were clearer now. "You left us. You'll hear." and beneath them, a rhythmic hum, growing louder each time she played it. On January 30th, Daniel called her, voice trembling. "Check your tools." His screwdriver, left in the car, was wet, crusted with salt, and etched with tiny, jagged scratches spelling "below." That night, Emily woke to the hum, faint but rising, from her apartment's walls.